For anybody who missed it, Trial of the Constellations is not ending at its usual time this month. It says 1 month left there, but it's actually ending in about 10 days. This is due to the changes that they're making to the way PvE content is rotating. On December 18th is your last day to do this. You can use this shop as a reference. Besides doing your usual monthly clears, plus your Perdition clears for the season if you haven't done them yet. Perdition, there's some more stuff I want to do for this, but this video is going to specifically focus on Blessing of the Stars, because some people haven't finished filling out their tree yet. If you're doing Perdition, you might need to fill out your tree. Some of the, mainly Light and Dark, are completely undoable without filling out your tree. And there's 30 Molas, there's 30 Molas up for grabs if you fill in every single slot on the Blessings. So we're going to talk about how to fill in these slots, how to get the blessing points and get all the tiers, and then I'll also fill this out and you can just see the process of doing it. So the main thing is that point calculation. The way point calculation works is each awakening gives you 20, 6 awakenings is 120 score, each level gives you 2, so level 60 would get you 120, artifact level also counts. It's 2 per level, 30 plus 30 artifact gives you 60 points. That's 300 artifacts for having a max awakened, max leveled, and then plus 30 artifact on the unit. And then pretty much everything else is going to come from equipment score. It's 1 score per equipment score. Skill enhances do not affect it at all, so you don't need to plus 15 your unit or anything. And then Grace of Growth doesn't work either. If you use the Grace of Growth unit, it'll count whatever their base thing is, like plus it'll be like level 5. So one thing is that since you need every single blessing unlocked, it's up to you whether or not you think these last 10 Molas are worth it. Like if you're at 29 and you just have to build a 3-star or something, then sure, fine, it's probably like a decent trade-off. If you're at 26 and you have to build a bunch of units, then maybe it'll be up to you, depends how Mola starved you are. Now, each of the, I suppose I should go here first. Within each of the, how do I back out of this? There's 5 slots total, and you unlock them with your points. By this point, assuming you've been doing your constellations, you should have enough points to unlock everything. The first 3 I count as 1 unit slot, because the 4th and 5th one are x2. So it basically goes 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and you don't have to unlock these in order or anything. It can be whatever order you want. It is restricted by either element class or element and class though, which does limit the pool a little bit. And there's a certain point requirement to hit each of the tiers. I think Leo specifically has a slightly lower point requirement for levels 1 through 4, but level 5 is the same. And here is the amount of equipment score required to hit level 5 on each tree, assuming that you have a max awakened plus 30 unit with a plus 30 artifact. Or max awakened level 60 unit with a plus 30 artifact. The important thing is that for level 5 and level 4, even level 4 cannot be obtained without having every single slot unlocked. If you do it with even only 6 units, that would be missing, like let's say you have like 1, 2, 4, 5 and you're missing the middle one. You need an average equipment score of 115 to do that, which is just not possible. So you have to unlock everything. For levels 1, 2, 3, it should be pretty trivial. It's also level 4, really. It's 83.33 average across all of your units. 88.33, 94.44, and then 91.67. The important one here is level 5. It's 97.62, which we can round up to 98. Equipment score average across all of your units. That's 30 units. That's 30 units, and there's 6 gear slots each. So it's 180 pieces of gear you need with about 98 equipment score average. You could probably be like 97 on a couple of pieces and be okay. It does not account for stat synergy or anything, or even set synergy, really. It's just raw piece equipment score. So let's go ahead and just start filling this out. A couple of important things. It's because it's limited by class and by element. I highly recommend using Cecilia bot just to check the requirements, like Earth Ranger, and it has to be the right star sign within each tree. So this is a Leo Earth Ranger. We can just go here, Earth Ranger, and I think Leo is this thing. It's just landing in this area. And then the Kithe one was an Ice Thief, in which case you have way more options. The units do show up if you click here, but in case you're missing a unit or they're in your storage or your waiting room or something, that would make it a little bit hard to find them. When you're gearing your units, one thing is the way that the equipment version works, you only have 20 slots to work with, and you have to gear potentially 30 units. This is a very good time to maybe update your fribbles just so you know exactly what pieces each unit had. And since you're probably going to have to swap artifacts out a bit, I would also recommend doing all of your artifact swaps first, because that way you, because all of your artifact swaps get noted here. So by doing all of your artifact swaps first, it's a lot easier to swap artifacts back than swap gear. I'd also make sure you don't have any slots that you're not willing to lose. So Navy Captain Landy is what we're going to put in here. We also got Shuri, Ludwig, Kisei, and Landy. And you just want to make sure everybody has any plus 30 artifact. It doesn't matter what artifact they have, really. It's just anything. This is plus 30. And then I said I was going to use Ludwig for this. He's got plus 30 artifact. And then we have... I think I already looked at Landy. So you can't reuse units for slots, by the way. So since I put Landy there, she's not going to work for the last slot. I'm going to put Landy in the last slot. And we're just going to use Shuri or something here. Who's got Rosa Hargana, which is fine. And you just want to repeat this process for every single slot, pretty much. There is the potential for you to maybe use some 2-stars in the... use 2-stars in your slots, because they do work. There was one specifically that I kept a 2-star for. It was, I don't remember... Oh, this one. You can put in a 2-star, and it works. Enhancing a 2-star is a bit of a meme, but if you're really desperate for the Mola, it does work for some of the slots. It's not too many of them, though. I can go through them one by one. So here, there's the Swordsman 2-stars. It works for... There's a Fire Knight, and then a Light, and a Earth element. So these 3 slots can be filled by the Swordsmans. It's the Ironblood Swordsman for Fire, the Sword Swordsman for Light, and then the Shield Swordsman for Earth. And then there is... Next up is Gemini. This one actually kind of has a bunch. So Dark Geminis, there's the Carbuncle Nuves, the Callous Marksman, and then there's an Ice Soul Weaver, which is the Aisha, or the Carbuncle Aisha. Light has the Carbuncle Aura, plus the Swordsman Archer. And then for Earth, you have the Carbuncle Lucas and the Tyrell Archer. And then next up is Libra. For Libra, there's Dark, the Dark Cloud Haiti, I don't know how to pronounce that. The Bone Slime and the Stained Flux. This is the Stained Flux right here. Then there's also Fire, which has the Scout Cannon, Blood Slime, and Helmeted Flux. Ice has the Wave Cloud, Haiti, Guard Cannon, Frost Slime, Machine Flux. You also have Earth Warrior, specifically, has the Grass Slime plus the Mud Flux. Leo only has a couple of them for Earth Rangers, and just Ranger in general, I suppose. There's the Vortex Cannon, though Leo is like one of the most common classes, should not be too hard to find units for these slots. And for the Ice Thief slot here, there's the Rakik Shredder. We also have Sagittarius. Fire Mage here, there's actually two. There's two 2-stars that work for this. There's the Fiery Rapala and the Fire Seed. And then Dark Soul Weaver, you have the Dark Crystal. Lastly is Virgo, where you have the Judgment Griffon and the Citrine Dragon for Light Warrior. You'll also note that when I got the carrot here, it didn't let her be put in. That's because you have her on a team already. Not that hard to fix that. You just remove the character from your team, and you can have them fill in the slot, and that's pretty much fine. Like, you can just take them out when you're done later. And since this is for, like, even you need this for Perdition, but this is for a different boss than the one that you actually use carrot in, so not too big of a deal. And Honestly, I said I was gonna go through like every single slot and show it, but I think that would take a little bit long. Get the general idea. It's just make sure your characters have their artifacts equipped. When you're gearing, I'm gonna show at least just one of them, but when you're gearing your characters, what you can do is you have to move them out, which is kind of annoying, but just go here, go to your manage equipment, sort by equipment score, and just start picking from the top. You can shift this around as you need, because some characters, like maybe in a certain slot you don't have all of the awakenings on a character. You can make up for that with raw equipment score. Like my highest thing here is like 80 average pretty much, which is a decent amount, or it's 100, it's 106 average, which is like 18 above the required average ES. So you can definitely make up for a couple of missing awakenings here and there by using your just higher equipment score gear. But that is the general guide for Blessing of the Stars, whether you need it for Perdition or you're trying to get your 30 Molas from Blessing of the Stars. Hopefully this helps you out a bit.